All right, man. I don't know how to feel about this. Breaking news. 3i Atlas just passed Mars the other day. We don't know if it's a comet. We don't know if it's a spaceship. We have no idea. I'm just kidding, man. Joe Flacco got traded to the Cincinnati Bengals today, and I got some thoughts. I don't actually know how I feel about this whole situation, but we're going to break it down. If you guys are new here, appreciate you guys joining. My name is Dante with East Coast Gridiron, where we break down film, talk about football, college, and NFL almost every single day on this channel. So appreciate you guys if you want to join in the army. For all the supporters out there that have been supporting me for a while, appreciate you guys. Let's just get right into it, man. I think Joe Flacco being on the Bengals is really good for their team for right now. Obviously, they're missing a veteran presence. They trusted Joe Burrow with so much of that team, and the receivers are just looking for another outlet just to get the ball. Jake Brown and throwing three interceptions a game is obviously not good for the team at all. But with the caliber receivers that are there with Joe and T. Higgins, Andre Yoshivas, I guess if you want to talk about Jermaine Burton, if he wants to step in, Mike Gesicki, and then most importantly, Jamar Chase, they're going to be able to save him on some of those deficiencies that he had with the Browns. I mean, love Cedric Tillman and Jerry Jeudy and those guys, but there's a pretty good wide receiver room, and then there's an excellent wide receiver room in what he's going to. And I think with his leadership and want to lead a team, if he's the presumable starter after this, you know, obviously making a trade this far in the week, we might see him play, you know, on Sundays. So, you know, at least it gives him a head up to be able to prepare and get ready to play the game, right? The way that Joe Flacco moves, a lot of people will say he's an asshole, but, you know, even at his age, he's still a competitor. He's said many times that when he was with the Browns, I'm not here to mentor Shedeur Dillon. They're grown men. If they want to ask me a question, I'll be sure to answer, but I'm here to compete to be the starter. And that's going to be good for this quarterback room moving forward. So even if Joe's there just to help Jake Brown and get to that next level by being in competition with him, I still think that that's a good choice for the Bengals as a whole. To go with him. I'm still indifferent about the move, and we'll get into that. But as far as the Browns are concerned, Shedeur Sanders obviously moves up to the number 2 spot unless they go and get another veteran to be in that spot. But this gets him one step closer to being in direct competition with Dillon now. So now you have 2 rookie quarterbacks that are competing with each other. And I think Kevin Stefanski's handled that situation perfectly. And maybe this was always the move, is to move away from Joe Flacco and just to see how both their rookie quarterbacks are. Look, you could be pro Shedeur without having to shit on another quarterback. And the fact is that Dylan Gabriel came in last week and had the best performance against Brian Flores' defense out of any quarterback that's played against him this season. Those are just the facts. So I don't think Dylan, unless he completely screws up, I don't think he's losing his job to Shedeur anytime soon, unless they're just going to have this weird competition where they put him in and put him out. And I don't think he played those games in the NFL. We'll leave that to Jim Harbaugh at the Michigan when it was a Cade McNamara, JJ McCarthy battle. You don't do that stuff in the NFL because even in college, every game matters. But with the way that the game is moving on, no coach has a long leash anymore. You want success. So ask myself, is this the best move? Kinda. I mean, you have Drew Lock out there who had, you know, when he comes in the game, he looks pretty good. You know, he's grown as a leader within himself and, you know, has looked pretty good in the preseason and the times that he's come in for Sam Darnold. So why not? Why not have reached out to him? Trey Lance is another name that gets brought up a lot with people because of the way that he played the preseason and, you know, kind of the whirlwind that he's going through. Maybe he's callous to be in a position like this to be the ultimate backup. Reach out to, you know, the Chargers. Kirk Cousins, you know, being a backup from Michael Penix Jr. They paid him all that money, but again, the downside is you're going to have to take up that contract if you trade for him. So I understand being away from that. Teddy Bridgewater just is a gamer. He just wants to play, right? Was up there backing up Jared Goff last year with the Lions, and now he's backing up Baker Mayfield. You know, if you don't think Baker Mayfield's a top 5 quarterback, I don't understand. So you have that. But really and truly, I think the best move that they probably could have made was go after Marcus Mariota. I think Marcus Mariota is in a position where he could have that Geno Smith a couple years ago aspect, or that Sam Darnold aspect. Being a little bit of an older guy, the way he performed while Jaden was out was actually pretty good. And I think with his demeanor and the way that he was getting the ball out, a guy like Jamar Chase could get back up to the status of where he was last year with a guy that would take a chance and, obviously a more mobile guy than what Joe Flacco is going to be, which, you have to be in today's aspect. And with that offensive line, I don't know how long Joe's gonna last, but that's just me. I wish nothing but the best for him though. But those are just a couple of guys when we're going through the motions of thinking about who could have filled in for, Joe Burrow. It was, these guys that came to mind. Jake had his moments, right? But I think everybody knows around the NFL that he's not prepared to be the starting quarterback for this caliber of offense when you talk about the wide receiving core, right? So let me know what you guys think, man. I know this is I usually don't make this off the cuff video, but I decided that this is very interesting from a lot of different aspects. How do we spin this? And what do the Browns do? Do they bring in a veteran or do they just let these guys ride it out? Shout out to Kevin Stefanski and that staff for holding to their guns and handling this thing probably better than any quarterback coach combination in the NFL. But we'll see what happens, man. This has been Dante with East Coast Gridiron. Everybody have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys later, man.